Chad Sell. How's it going, Chad?
It's going great.
Spectacular. Now, Chad, we want to know about you.
I'm 35 years old, and I grew up in central Wisconsin, and I like cheese. And now I live in Chicago with my husband and with 2 cats, and I like cooking, and I made Cardboard Kingdom, and I'm making a bunch more books, and I'm really excited about that. And this is my first time in Texas ever, but I don't know that I'll see anything besides the Texas Convention Center. And I think this is the first time I talked to a puppet, but I'm not sure. And I like drawing. I like drawing people. I like drawing faces. I don't like drawing cars. I don't like drawing buildings very much. I like drawing fight scenes. I like drawing superheroes. I like drawing fighting and not fighting. I sort of escaped into my sketchbook as a kid. Not because there was anything bad about my childhood, but just because I had an imagination. I wanted to bring my characters to life.
Yeah. And so, did you say you like drawing like fight scenes and characters like that? Did you read a lot of comic books and try to emulate those?
I read so many comics as a kid. My room was like literally filled to the brim, stacked with comics falling over on top of themselves. It was completely a madhouse. I kind of like the thing about comics that everyone gets to wear big, bold, bright costumes. They look cool, they pose, they have muscles. It's just sort of like an extra layer of cartoonishness on top of reality. When I'm drawing a fight scene, the crucial thing is, like, if I'm punching a supervillain, it's not about making contact with the supervillain, it's about like the moment after. So you would be like falling back, and I would be like, ah. And like that's the dynamic image you're capturing in a comic.
I like that. That was pretty cool. Let's try that one more time. Ready?
Wait, do you want to punch me?
Oh, okay.
My glasses. Okay.
That's great. I've never had anyone do that with me before. Thank you so much, Chad.
It's a powerful punch. Thank you.
Cool. So you were drawing. Were you also writing at a young age as well?
To some extent, I think I've always been a little bit ahead with my art than I have been with my writing. I think, I would come up with characters in my sketchbook, and I would have sort of an idea for them, for what their story might be, but I didn't really write that many stories, or didn't actually draw out the stories much until I grew up a little bit more. And I think that is kind of common for young artists. They have these big ideas and stories in their head, but maybe they're not sure how to bring that to life. But The Cardboard Kingdom is my first published book, and it's been a long time in the making, yeah.
Oh, yeah? Can you tell us a little bit about the process that led to The Cardboard Kingdom?
Yeah, well, you might not know that getting a book published is hard. It is a hard thing.
I have heard that before.
Yes, and I had struggled for a long time on my own. It can be really hard to work on a big, long project for a really long time and never doubt yourself. There are times when I would draw something or I would write something, and later I would think, oh, that's not very good. And maybe someone else would look at it and say, oh, that's fine. But if you lose that confidence in yourself, it's hard to keep going.
Yeah.
And so sometimes when you have a really difficult problem, it's good to find friends to help or family. And that's what I did. I had this idea for a whole neighborhood full of kids, and each of them would have their own story, and each of them would have their own character and costume as they play together, like a robot or a sorceress or a mad scientist. But to write all those characters, I thought, why don't I have some help, And so I had a story contest online where I laid out that whole idea, and anyone who had a good idea for a character that would live in the Cardboard Kingdom, they could send it in. And so from over 100 entries, I picked 10 writers with their 10 characters and made a book with them. Isn't that neat?
Cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
So did you continue to work with them after they submitted the initial idea, or did you take the initial idea and just kind of run with that?
Oh, no. We've worked together for 3 years now. We have a little Facebook group where we all are constantly sharing the latest news, sharing questions, and some creators even contributed multiple characters because they were feeling really creative that day. And so in Cardboard Kingdom, this book right here, each character has their own story. So each writer had a pretty good idea of what would happen in their story. But the fun thing is that each character lives in the same neighborhood as the other. So they all play together. They show up in each other's adventures. And if we were using someone else's character, we would say, hey, does that sound good? Like, would the animal queen do that? Or is that too mean for her to say? Or would she stand up for herself in that situation? It was sort of a back and forth, just trying to be respectful of everyone's feelings and making sure that we were all on the same page with each other.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.